so smart, first of all. He was a biology major here at William & Mary. I think he had close to a 4.0 with his bio studies. He was on track to go to medical school. If he hadn't got drafted, he was going to take the MCATs. So we got a professional baseball player. We could have gotten a surgeon. Just a very smart, very cerebral individual. I think he played the game that way. I think if you look at overall careers from a baseball perspective at William & Mary, you can't have a conversation about it without talking about Will. I think he's topped in a number of career categories, notably batting average, hits, runs. I think stolen bases and triples is also in there. I mean, just a very dominant career over a 4-year stretch. His junior and senior years were certainly magnificent as a junior. That team that he was on, he helped lead to what was at the time a school record 37 wins. Just really a big-time performer. And then obviously as a senior hitting .413. I can't explain to you over the course of a 54-game baseball season how incredible it is to hit over 400. Really at any level to hit over 400, but to do it on the college baseball stage in a very, very deep and tough conference like the CAA was at that time, it's just really incredible. I would say this now, and nothing's changed, just a high character person. He was a guy who was always going to be very loyal to you and loyal to his team and always going to fight for your cause, whether it was winning on the field or helping you to get better when you were practicing or in the off season. He was just always going to be a champion of your cause. We always think leading and it's some type of verbal action or maybe somebody that's being rah-rah. And I don't think that's necessarily always the case. I think sometimes when you are one of the better players, part of your role as a leader is to perform when the lights are brightest. He always knew he was going to hit, but it always seemed like when the lights were brightest, he shined the brightest.
Will, congratulations on your induction into the William & Mary Athletic Hall of Fame. It's a tremendous honor, very well deserved. I think you epitomize the best of what the William & Mary athletic experience was all about. You arrived on campus, you were a very good player, you worked really hard, you're a student of the game, and you left Williamsburg a great player. Went on to have an outstanding pro career. I just hope the picture and the plaque that's immortalized in William & Mary Hall does justice to the tremendous flow that you had working back in the day, and so that many generations to come can take that in. But again, congratulations, I'm extremely happy for you.
I've known Will now, I guess, 15 years, so I've known him almost as long as I haven't known him. And I would say that the induction is appropriate not just for the things that he did on the field, but for the type of person he is and the character that he has. I think if you're looking to tab somebody as an ambassador for not just the college, but the college's athletic department, there's probably nobody better than Will to be that. Will, congratulations on your induction with the 2018 class of the William & Mary Athletic Hall of Fame. You deserve it, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Will Rhymes.
All right. Seth, you're quite the hype man. Thank you. I'm afraid this will probably be a letdown after that. Also wrote this during the cocktail hour, which could have been a little longer, Samantha, if we're looking for suggestions. I'd like to thank the committee. Partially, this was probably just so that Seth stopped bothering you to induct me, but either way, I'll take it. And Samantha, I'd like to thank you for raising the standard for the athletic department and shooting for excellence. I think all of us alumni appreciate that, so thank you. I'd also like to thank Mark. Where's Mark? Thank you, Mark, for hosting this and sponsoring it. Really appreciate it. And congratulations to all the inductees. This is a truly special night for all of us and our families, so congratulations. Probably should have moved this a little later in case I get emotional, but I thought I'd start by thanking my wife, Anna. It's pretty difficult to be in the background and supporting someone when they play professionally for 10 years, just with the ups and downs of being a professional athlete. It's kind of a thankless job, and it's a lot of nights in cold ballparks in Erie, Pennsylvania, and even when we were in the big leagues together, it's extremely stressful to watch someone perform on that stage. So You sacrificed so much from graduating and sacrificing your dreams to teach so that you could have summers off to spend with me. I just really appreciate everything you've done to support my career and continue to support me doing what I love to do. So thank you, Anna. I'd like to thank everyone who's here, actually individually, real briefly. Thank you to Seth. His brother Jeff is here, and his dad Frank. They're all been essentially family to me since I've known you guys. So thank you for being here. It means a ton to me. Thank you to Stephen, Mary, Paulo. Anna went here, by the way, soccer player, 06, and her sister Laura is here, also a soccer player. So the ties go pretty deep. But thanks, Steve, Mary, and Laura. Appreciate it. Michael Brown, Hall of Fame inductee a couple years ago, raised the bar for our baseball program. You're a huge part of why I am here today. Watching you hit kind of as a 130-pound dude from Houston was a little eye-opening. So I appreciate you, again, raising the standard for me. And Bill and Elaine, thanks for being here. Bill's also an inductee. Bill and I played here together 4 great years, or 3 great years. Bill was a first-rounder with the Reds, had a great career. It's fantastic that you guys came back. It's great when someone you haven't spoken to in over a year shows up without telling you to an event like this. That means so much to you. I'd like to thank my dad, who couldn't be here tonight, for instilling a love of baseball that will never die in me. And I'd like to thank my brother, despite the fact that he chose to go to the Masters next week or 2 weeks from now instead of being here. I do fully support that decision, but my twin brother, probably the greatest memory from William and Mary is getting to play with my twin brother, Jonathan, here. He'd be the first to tell you that his skill set kind of peaked in college, but for most of our lives, he was a better baseball player, and he peaked in college, but he kind of slingshotted me, if that's a word, out ahead of him and into pro ball. And without Jonathan, there's absolutely no question I wouldn't be here. To have someone to just push you from the day you were born to be the best that you could be. And it turned out if I just could be a little bit better than him, that was pretty good. William & Mary's had a tremendous impact in my life. It's pretty hard to imagine what it would be like without it. From the day I stepped foot on campus, I've heard this from a couple people, it really did feel like home to me. I called my dad the next morning after Michael Brown took me out on my recruiting night, which we can't get into probably, or shouldn't. But I called him next afternoon and said, Dad, this is home. This is where I'm going. And the rest was history. I want to thank Jim Farr, who was the head coach at the time. They took a chance on a kid who was, I think it was like 5'6" and 130 pounds coming out of Houston, Texas. This is the only scholarship offer I got. I wasn't recruited anywhere, really. I took the opportunity to come play baseball and try to use baseball to get a better education than I could have got on my own. And I thought that playing in college was going to be the destination. It turned out to just be the beginning. And I was fortunate to go on and play up to the major leagues. But again, some of my most fun times were here playing with my brother and with the gentleman here tonight. I'll finish with this. I'm really fortunate. I've never worked a day in my life. I'm the assistant farm director for the Dodgers, and I take a lot of the things I learned here and the leadership that I learned from being the captain here, and I try to instill that in our players. We have 180 players in camp, and one of them just texted me a little while ago that, he hit a ball really hard today. He felt great. He can't wait to see me tomorrow morning and go over the video. And, that's what this is all about. Every day I wake up in the morning and I think, how do I leave the Dodgers jersey in a better place than I found it? And I want to say to all the inductees and all the people who are former inductees today that you certainly left the William & Mary jersey in a better place than you found it. So I want to thank you for that and thank you for this tonight.